multiple home run hitters for a chance to score an even bigger payout. Let's say maybe you don't want to build your own. No problem. Check out their popular same-game parlays where you can join the other bets users are jumping in on. If you're new to FanDuel, just sign up, use the promo code BKING. Get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use that promo code BKING.
21 and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TM Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Now here's Bruno and Zach.
4 o'clock here in the Music City, so you know what time it is. Time for the afternoon stretch here on Nashville Sports Radio. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams coming to you live from the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studios. So glad to have you alongside us on this beautiful day here in Nashville, Tennessee. If you want to get involved in the show, it's always very simple. It's always very easy. We want you to get involved. 615-844-5600. That's how you do it. We want to hear from you as we do every single day here till 6 o'clock tonight. And Braves take over. Bruno Reagan, how are you doing?
Man, I told you I got my best night of sleep in a while. The beginning of the SFL was the same, trying to transition back into being a pro athlete.
Yeah, you just combined USFL into one word. I don't know how you did it. Usable.
It should be a one-word thing. 4-letter acronyms are too long. If you got 3, that's fine. Like CDL League, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But USFL.
NFL, MLB,
yes,
NBA.
3 is the sweet spot. 4,
4 gets too much. Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to turn it into my own word. USFL.
ASAP.
USFL.
Useful.
Anyways, in the useful league, the first week was really tough, so I got good sleep then. I was waking up at 6 a.m. naturally, but, you start to acclimate.
Yeah.
I was playing league till like 3 in the morning.
Mistake number 1.
I was doing that back all the way in college, though, so it's what keeps me a champion.
Yeah. Well.
Fighting the adversity every day of being mind-numbingly tired, then I go out there and game day with good sleep. I mean, it's just an added training effect. That's the way I saw it.
Yeah. That's one way to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you got a good night's rest, man.
Yeah, man.
Because you got offended yesterday. I was like, because you were talking about your sleep when you woke. You said
You mentioned sleep apnea.
I was like, maybe you got sleep apnea.
No.
A lot of people have it. Is
I
that a
know.
big deal?
But I don't.
You don't.
No.
There's
There's nothing wrong with me.
We should get you a CPAP machine and just see how you sleep that night.
I'm sure if you give that to anybody, it works.
It's just oxygen in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all it is, right?
I'm sure it makes everybody feel better.
There was somebody, I don't remember who or where, but they have a generator for their CPAP machine. I just heard this. I might have been just walking down the street and just like overheard someone's conversation. I don't remember. But they have a generator for theirs because if they don't like have it, he straight up was like, I'll die in the middle of the night. I'll die.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
he's like, I gotta have a CPAP machine. I don't need one. I don't know if I'll ever have one day, but I don't even really know fully what they are. So maybe we should look into that sponsorship. See if somebody wants to be a CPAP sponsor. Speaking of CPAPs, Ray Dosky, how are you doing? I don't know how that speaks of you, by the way.
I
was
have
just
no
looking.
idea either. I was hoping you'd fill that.
You're
for a
so
segue.
jacked, Ray, that the mass, you need so much more oxygen to fuel your
Yeah.
body's mass.
You know what's funny, Bruno? That you told I was jacked, and you got Zach over here flexing on camera. How does that work?
Feels good today. I hit the gym, mowed the yard. I did a lot of physical things.
Tell us more. Tell
I
us
felt
more.
good, Ray.
'Cause we all know everyone loves you. Yeah, that's right, Zach. Everyone
Oh, it
loves
felt
you.
so good. It feels good. You know how it is.
No, I don't.
There's
I hate
so
working
many
out.
things. There's just
I hate
not
working out.
The older you get, the less good things make you feel. So when you find one, you got to cherish it, right?
As the youngest guy in the room is talking about this.
I'm just saying, I've had a lot of things that made me feel good recently. The sleep, some cash coming daddy's way.
Oh, daddy's got cash.
Now, Phil Mickelson, in a loss of irony and self-awareness, walks up to For the Love of Money, which I was like, this is fake, 100%. And then the verified accounts that are sharing it, are posting, this is not fake, by the way. Golden. Made me so happy. If he chose that song, he deserves to be in the Petty Hall of Fame.
Well, and we got to mention this too. Phil Mickelson, friend of the show.
Hey, Phil, you are the most famous person to watch the show, so And we're not letting it slide.
No, and
As you shouldn't.
no,
I mean,
no, we're not going to because if you didn't see the Twitter post I put up and then Bruno put up yesterday, as we were talking about Phil Mickelson, he was watching the show, and the best part about all of this
is none of you believe me.
I didn't. So Bruno found it because Bruno's Mr. Nosy Nose. He's always like, who watched the show?
All the time.
He checks it every time, so he knows. I also saw your alma mater was watching last night too. By the way, I don't know.
Who?
You only have one alma mater.
The university account?
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
VU Commodores was watching.
Good. Hey, we have a good relationship.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, no. And so I just thought that was funny. But Bruno always does the little snooping and everything. And,
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, well, I think it was a post replay, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. But Phil Mickelson, lefty himself, was watching in the time frame when we were talking about him. And clearly, I mean, look, it doesn't matter how famous you are. I don't care who you are. You search your name. At some point, you search your name
Yes.
just to see
Yes, it
who is
happens.
talking about you.
Absolutely.
well, you do make a good point, but who is this name, though?
Jack Nicklaus.
Can you search that name? I would love for you to search that name.
You know what's hilarious is that golf people would kill to have someone like Phil Mickelson hear their show, and then I easily butcher the names of one of golf's biggest names, and then he comes on the show. It just goes to show I tell Zach all the time, and I live by this. Sometimes it's not. You don't have to do the right things to make it in this business. You just have to know the smart things, and that's
or
me,
just
baby.
stupidly fall into it like I think we did.
Falling upward is a legit strategy.
Oh, for sure. I agree. I agree with all of this. But so we looked at it, and Phil Mickelson was watching it, and not only was he watching it, he hearted the show, so he liked the show.
Hey, sorry I didn't take the stance of Phil Mickelson murdered 100,000 people. I don't think that's true.
Phil
but
Mickelson's money is soaked red with blood, or all these people that are doing that conversation right now.
wouldn't it be cool if we could see at where every single dollar we owned was like transaction through, kind of like how Bitcoin and the blockchain works. Like
Have
you
you
can
ever
see where
seen-
all the money
Like,
goes.
follow the
Yeah,
track?
you can follow the
Well,
tracks.
So it's interesting. There's a website
Oh,
called
no.
where'sgeorge.com, and
Yeah.
it's on dollar bills that you'll see that have stamps on. I don't know if they're still doing it, but you would enter in the serial number for that bill, and then you could see if somebody followed it up and actually put the serial number, and you could follow it all the way through and see, okay, this is where the dollar started out, and here's where it's gone.
We should do that for the show. Just $1.
Just $1. Just
Because
try to follow it all the way through.
that would travel farther than probably like larger bills.
Just now, okay. So here's even more of an idea, Ray. Stamp every show, every bill that we own and use with our advertisements.
Ooh,
Just
that's good.
advertising the show. There's got to be something illegal about that, right? Like,
I think just stamping $1 bills is illegal, isn't it?
I still stand behind my point yesterday. Be careful overbuilding your brand. If you build yourself up to be this, and the good thing about Phil Mickelson is he was always considered a money guy anyways, right? He's always been trying to like kind of leverage against the tour. So this is something that you could see.
bragged about how much he paid in taxes and stuff. Like, well, he complained, but it was
Yeah.
like a humble brag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, don't be that guy that's like, we need to do the right thing, and then you get 300 mil offered, and then you have to betray. I have a problem with people putting on their morals on other people. They're saying Phil Mickelson is not moral. If anything, he's probably moral to himself. I like money.
Yeah.
That's my morality.
Which is apparently
I'm not
going
to kill anybody. If they gave Phil Mickelson a chainsaw and they were like, kill this guy for that money, I don't think he'd do it.
He wouldn't do it. No.
No.
Because that's terrible.
Exactly.
Right? Like, that's an actual terrible thing. That if he did
Does what I'm saying make sense? He didn't cross his morals in any way. He's a businessman. He's always acted this way in such of, because, hey, you know what the best businessmen do? Get out of paying as much money as possible to the government on taxes.
Yep.
He's always done that. How is anybody surprised? I get what the PGA is doing from their point of view, because this is the only tactic that will work against blank
Yeah.
checks.
Well, I want to say, too, before we go any further,
Yes.
Phil, if you're watching, because we know you like the show, and we're probably back into the algorithm if he's checking. Because this is the thing. It's London's like 6 hours ahead of us. That's where he is right now. It was probably like he's just tucking himself in for the night, scrolling on Twitter like everybody else does, and then he's seeing Bruno and I's fat faces talking about golf, which, apologies. But all the same, if you're watching, you can totally call in, Phil. Phone number's right there on the video screen. And This will be the most. We don't even have to talk about anything business-wise. I just want you to call in, just to say how stupid we are. That'd be fine. You could call in and instantly hang up.
Hey, you better
That'd be
not
hilarious.
call me stupid. I will turn on you in a heartbeat.
But it would also be a place where you could come and talk. It'd be a Phil Mickelson safe space, if you will. Because clearly you like the show, because that's what he did.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. I see somebody's calling in. It's a 615 area code. Ray looked in my eyes real quick, and I was like, it's 615. It can't be. How crazy if that was somebody.
That was good. Hey, shout out to Twitter for designing a stream that lets us see who views it.
All right, straight up, Phil Mickelson's watching right now. So, Phil, if you want to call, go ahead and jump in 615-844-5600.
I need to get rid of the caller
We
ID
want to
because I
talk
would
to
have
you.
had you guys.
I just saw it pop up on the Twitter. That's why I'm saying it. And it's cool. We're friends with Phil Mickelson now. That's how I like to think about it. We're friendly people.
Is that parasocial?
Is it?
We always criticize people for being parasocial. Is that parasocial?
Well, one time
because we're just kind of more so on his side with this story. I just don't get calling people murderers over business decisions. When that's the standard, but that's what all the elites do. You remember when Hillary Clinton's running for president? You know why it never gets brought up in elections? Because both parties do it, with the Saudi government in particular.
Well, I mean, true, and I think you're right. It is a little parasocial. We don't know Phil as a person, but we can take those broad strokes and say they align with our broad strokes.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, once again, we're not going to be best friends or anything, but we're much different ages. He probably doesn't know it. He probably doesn't care about anything that we like.
Well, I'm friends with mainly older people.
True, same. I am too. Hey, look, and I just got into golf, so I'm perfect.
Do I need to get into golf? I feel like it's a huge business thing, too. I feel like a lot of the big-time meetings happen on courses. Are all those guys good at golf, or are they all terrible when it comes to those kind of meetings?
What are you talking about, business meetings?
Yeah.
Most of them are terrible.
Yeah, so I don't have to be good.
Hey,
right?
man, unless you, are on the tour or playing, any professional, most people suck at golf.
Yeah.
That's just really how it is. Even people who are really good at golf, they'll eventually
I
one
just
day
can't
suck
fall
at
into
golf.
the trap like you to buy all the expensive stuff.
I haven't bought anything. Only my shoes.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
And that's a on-brand you thing.
But that's a me thing that I do that with. Right?
He has to look the part and to play the part. That's the thing about Zach.
All right, full disclosure. My entire set of clubs, $200. That's what I spent, which
That's
is
good.
bag, clubs, all the way through. That's how much I spent on clubs. Shoes, $400.
I drove a golf ball into my teacher's window when I was a kid. My dad can attest to
On
that.
purpose or accident?
Well, it was on accident, but when I was a kid in the backyard around a million houses, of course it's going to hit someone.
Yeah.
And of course it hits a window. So
Did you live next to your teacher?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Right through it. I think that ended it for me.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm done.
I was more of a
golfing.
fighter anyways.
Yeah, well, all American wrestler, and then black belt judo now, purple belt. Wait, purple or blue? Where are you?
I didn't even know
BJJ?
sport. Purple right now.
You're purple, yeah.
Probably heading to brown soon. I didn't even know sports washing was a term, right? But it's really only been used sincerely in one situation that was Nazi Germany's Olympics, right? That makes
Yeah,
sense.
they did.
Trying to justify that through sport. I really think, because I heard, I can't credit him correctly. I heard a good argument where it's like this live thing might not work out because, for example, this story hits a million different things. Tyson Fury came out when him and Deontay Wilder were about to rematch again. Mm-hmm. There was potential that that their rematch was going to be on a boat with Saudi billionaire oil princes, whatever, and it was not going to be broadcast. The result would stay with those people. Yeah. Right? That's the kind of money we're dealing with.
Right.
And they don't care about boxing. They didn't care about building a league. They just wanted that event to themselves, the exclusivity of it, right? And that might be the same thing with this league. I brought it up to Adam before the show. This is like Ninja leaving for Mixer, and it could end, which Ninja was a popular Twitch streamer, leaves from Mixer for $30 million, and then a year later, the website goes down. It's not financially successful.
And that was
Phil
backed
Mickelson
by-
could be back on the tour.
Well,
if not for said suspension.
Right.
If the live golf goes down, would he be welcomed back? Is that something that people have even considered yet?
yeah, well, and that's where all of this is. It's pontificating at that point. You really don't know.
I mean, when it comes to me, it has to be an instant yes. Is it really that big of a deal?
It feels well. Let's talk about it now. So today, if nobody has seen it, the PGA Tour has suspended the 17 members who are competing in the Live Golf, which was earlier today. The PGA Tour suspended them. They just came out and they were like, they started there, they're suspended. And it gets into Jay Mohanan wrote in a memo, these players have had their choice for their own financial-based reasons. And the commissioner goes on, but they can't demand the same PGA Tour membership benefits, considerations, opportunities, and platform as you. The expectation disrespects you, our fans, and our partners. You have made a different choice, which is to abide by the tournament regulations you agreed to when you accomplished the dream of earning a PGA Tour card, and more importantly, to compete as part of the preeminent organization in the world of professional golf. It's a lot of backslapping going on there. I mean, this guy might throw out his shoulder with that kind of
statement.
I mean, it really is. Like it's coming out. It's like they turned their backs on us. How could they, brothers? We should align together. I mean, this is like you can almost hear Stalin talking about this. Like it's that kind of rhetoric that they're putting out there, where it's like
People
you're
need
either
to
with us or you're against.
I think
us.
that's our show's thing, is we explain the strategy of both ends. We're not going to come out here and be like, because there are people that are taking Phil Mickelson's, they're taking his antithesis point, right? He's a murderer, blood money. They're doing that for their own financial gain.
Yeah.
Right? We want to make sure, we want to explain the strategies of both parties here. PGA Tour, do you think they really believe the athletes are all in it for this historical? Some are. Some are for legacy and all that, right? I mean, the tour's been around for a long time. But some, like, this is strategy. This is a business looking to protect its own interests and nothing more.
And that's what it is. But I think it's getting so far that I do believe PGA Tour thinks their crap don't stink. That's kind of,
they're trying to paint it that way.
Yeah,
exactly, because it's an easy thing to get behind. It's the product Americans, Americans, which deal with Phil Mickelson the most. It's who's going to give him the most heat.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said yesterday, I feel like Phil Mickelson is just the poster child of PGA Tour hate. But this is, I mean, like I said about Bryson DeChambeau, 28 years old. He's, what's his future like? If this does, if like you said, like with Ninja going to Mixer, or, I mean, a lot of people with the XFL when it came back, just like yourself, or AAF, whatever, all these different leagues that pop up to try to gain entertainment venues. The only difference between those and where they're at right now is they don't need a return of investment. Like this, it is more of a pride thing. And I read somewhere where people talked about that the Saudis may just lose interest. That's probably, if their downfall is going to be
That's what I meant when I brought up the boxing story. This could be just something out of the blue. They were like, we wanted this. We wanted some stake in it. We just wanted it to be ours.
Yeah.
And this could be a 1-year thing. What happens then? That's what I'm trying to bring up. And is it fair to ban these people if they're free agents again, quote unquote, right?
I don't know. I don't think it's fair.
And I also want to, we might be coming up on a break for a lot of the discussions. I don't think.
Yeah.
But when I eventually do want to talk about kind of the hip, I want to get both sides, because people are praising Tiger Woods for being, he stuck to his morals. Tiger Woods
is richer than a majority of all athletes.
So he has that benefit to where he doesn't have to, defy his morals.
Right.
But guess who Tiger Woods is lifetime sponsored by? Nike.
Yeah.
Nike is not squeaky clean, guys.
Hey, man. Look, here, to that argument, you can get even deeper. All these people, what's about 80% of people nowadays have an iPhone? Go ahead and look where iPhones are made.
They're
all complaining on their iPhones.
Before people criticize Phil Mickelson, I want you to be informed, because there is a real world where you think you're in the right and you feel vindictive, you feel true, you feel honest, but deep down, you're a fish and you're hooked onto the same bait as everybody else.
Yeah,
I want to make sure you know that before you go and criticize people. We're consumers too. I'm wearing Nike stuff.
Yep.
I'm Nike'd out head to toe.
Yeah.
I got my iPhone, but I know where everything comes from. That's why I'm a little hesitant to criticize from a conflicting standpoint. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Let me ask you this, but it seems a lot like the whole, like, when you're talking about like the good versus bad right here, right? This is what it seems like this talk is going to. Have you seen Phil Mickelson's little picture here?
Which
Oh,
one?
he dressed up as a bad guy.
Yeah, like he looks like he just joined the NWO.
Oh, for sure.
Look, I mean, it's just right here.
If he could have played that first, if he
Well,
could,
Ray, I hate it for you. You just caused yourself more work. We have to come back to the NWO theme now.
if he could have played that first interview better, because you could tell he was conflicted, right? He really deep down he was conflicted. That's why it was kind of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if he could have just played onto that character more, I mean, this could have been massively entertaining.
Yeah, and he looks grizzled. You know what I mean? That's kind of like right now.
It's a new age Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, it's a bad boy. He's Hollywood Hogan right now. We had Hulkamania going on for a lot, running wild. He'd say your prayers, eat your vitamins, all that kind of stuff. Now it's it's too sweet, all that kind of stuff. That's what you have going on right now.
Now
for
golf
Phil
has
Mickelson.
never been more talked about since Tiger Woods and back in
Well,
what
that's
was
a
it?
big part about it,
2009. Golf has never been more talked about.
Yeah, well, and I think that's an even bigger issue that's going on right now is that PGA Tour, they're throwing all this stuff out. This is huge publicity for them. Whether you like it or not, it's still huge. The next PGA Tour event is going to be widely watched just because of this whole
thing might do more for the PGA Tour than it realizes. They just have to play their part, obviously, on the surface. But they might be glad that this is bringing more attention to golf.
Yeah, no, it's going to be bringing a ton of attention to golf, and it's only going to help the game of golf, whether you like it or not. No matter what, there's going to be people that are probably going to start picking up a stick and hitting a little white ball just because of this.
Me,
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Makes it
Top
cool,
right.
man. Makes it super cool. So that's all that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Like that's what people care about. 615-844-5600 if you want to jump in. Let us know what do you think about the PGA Tour banning
Please,
these
this is the
players.
most interesting story of the summer.
It
We
really
want to
is.
hear what you have to say about
It
it.
could arguably end up being the most interesting story of the year. Like when we
Yes.
look back at the end of 2022, going into 23, we could say this was the biggest story. And we're only one day in to their first tournament. That's we still have a lot of time to talk about this. 615-844-5600. Jump on the phones. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Afternoon, they're still trying to clean up an accident right now on 24 eastbound out there around Haywood Lane. Traffic's been limping along here quite a bit on 24 east at Briley Parkway. That's what we're looking at live here south of town. All that traffic headed out towards Rutherford County. Lots of radar out here. I-40 making your way through Kingston Springs, headed out through parts of Dixon County, Hickman County. Just be careful this afternoon. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, they're home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. They have all kinds of other flavors. Check them out in person with 2 locations in downtown Gatlinburg on the Parkway. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, it's Patton Cook from Run With It. Let me tell you about my friends over at Smiles by Design. Dr. Dwayne Jones and his team focus on providing you with personalized, gentle care that you deserve. Smiles by Design are one of the few practices that offer state-of-the-art, needle-free cavity fillings. I started going to Dr. Jones 2 years ago, and he has completely changed my smile. They are located at 105 Threet Industrial Boulevard, Unit 1001 in Smyrna. You can visit their website at drdwaynejones.com for more information, or you can call them at 615-355-1033. Again, their number is 615-355-1033, or you can search for them on social media at Smiles by Design. So be sure the next time you're looking for dentistry services, give my friends over at Smiles by Design a try. And don't forget to tell them Patton sent you.
Hey, Braves fan, it's time for baseball, and that means it's time to cheer on the World Series defending champions, the Atlanta Braves, in the 2022 season. Attorney Klein Preston of the Klein Preston Law Group wants you to join him in cheering on the World Series defending champions, the Atlanta Braves, for the start of the 2022 season. Here's to another amazing season for Braves country here on your home for the Atlanta Braves. Nashville Sports Radio.
Dry rub wings are back at Slim Chickens. Fresh, fried, and full of flavor. Like smooth and kickin' cayenne ranch, zesty lemon pepper, or turn it up with new spicy Nashville hot. Try them today with a meal or feed your hungry crowd. But hurry, they're only back for a limited time. At Slim's, bold flavor is what we do. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
Five-state forecast.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio WNSR Sky Scan forecast throughout this afternoon. Mostly sunny, temps low 80s, mostly clear overnight tonight, lows near 60. Saturday, a sunny day, highs in the mid 80s, wind gust to 20 miles per hour, and mostly clear Saturday night, lows near 60. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on Nashville Sports Radio. I'm WNSR's Joe Gardner.
Sports Radio WNSR.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Man, hey, first off, I know we made the comparison of Mickelson to Hollywood Hogan, and that's why we're playing this. There's nothing better. We need to fix all of our comeback song, all of our bumper back music. We need to make it all that. Just NWO. Go ahead and cue up NWO. Oh man, what is it? Crap. Wolfpack. Give me the NWO Wolfpack. We're gonna have the Wolfpack. That's a good one too. I love those. That's something I miss. We've been talking about golf and how like golf is getting like into the spotlight now. I really miss the Attitude Era of wrestling, like the Monday Night Wars. That was tremendous television. And I miss all of that. I hate wrestling now.
Look at the picture I posted on Twitter at Bruno Reagan if you're listening.
At Bruno Reagan, no free shout-outs.
They look the exact same, don't they?
We're just kicking this. Yeah, I mean they kind of do. The Attitude Era. The Attitude Era. That's a good one right there. Yeah, at Bruno Reagan on Twitter is the only way you're going to check that out.
Let's go to these phone lines.
Yeah, let's go to the phone lines. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. Lines are full at the moment. If you get a busy tone, just keep trying. Just keep hitting those numbers. Let's go to Steve in Franklin. Steve, how you doing, brother?
What's up, gentlemen? You got me?
I got you.
Gotcha.
Okay, I didn't hear that little switch over. Hey, Zach, you're always saying you're a fan free agent. I vote you are a fan of the Browns.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yes, you got to be a fan.
Is this officially Strike and Spare telling me to do it? Because maybe.
This is an order. Are they seriously on the hook for that contract with Watson if he never plays and goes to prison?
Yep.
They still have to pay him.
Well, he's not going to go to prison. I don't think he's going to go to prison. But, yeah, no, it's fully guaranteed.
Well, they say that, but I'm sure they have clauses with cause that there's always ways to get out of it.
They'd have to pay. They're going to have to pay something, and it'll be a large chunk of
Well,
that.
that's what I'm saying. They're going to get out. If Watson does not play, they're going to get out of paying him, and then Watson's side is going to take them to court. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. It'll be a really iffy situation where I think the end of it, if that does come to pass, it'll be an undisclosed settlement amount because the Browns don't want to carry that on. The Watson side don't want to carry it on. They want to move on from it. And he's going to fight like hell to keep any bit of money because if that does happen, if the worst happens, he's probably done in the NFL. So I don't think that's going to end up happening that way.
Yeah, and he's going to get sued by every masseuse within 600 miles of wherever he lives. But
man, that guy's been to a lot of them.
What a clown show. I mean, what do you think Baker's just sitting back kind of laughing?
He's got to love it, Steve. He's got to love it.
I disagree. I think he likes the Browns going through turmoil, but he is still on the Browns. If he was out of it, if he had finally gotten traded, if he gotten released, something like that, yeah, he would be out here talking wild right now. But I think he feels caged. I feel like he thinks he's caged right now.
But he's also loving it. No shot he's not. He's loving this
Could
madness.
be right, man.
He's probably the one leaking everything.
Yeah, well, you know.
I feel bad for him. I mean, coming out, I thought he was kind of cocky and he probably wasn't going to be that good, but he did bet like Bruno always says. He took in the playoffs. He's never done that. His commercials are funny, so he seems.
I feel bad for him, Steve. I really do. The guy is like not many people will go out there on injury and risk career opportunities for their team. He is that kind of guy. Yeah. I don't know where he got lost with OBJ. I think he definitely messed up there. OBJ is such a respected guy in the league, and respect goes a long way in that league. The fact that he should have stepped up as a leader and gotten him more involved with that offense, and that would have people view him more favorably inside of the league. But he fought through injury for that team, and that's such a mental thing to get over, to try to do something selfless like that. I feel terrible for him. That's just outside of all aspects of play. Did he play that well down the stretch? Not really, but he also had bright moments. I mean, Joe Burrow said it himself on the Nelk Boys podcast of all places. He's
also,
like,
President Trump was on that podcast.
He's like, we never beat Baker. Everyone's always talking about Baker. We never beat him. Not that, or at least last year.
Well, hopefully him and your favorite receiver can find a good team match somewhere. They can make it happen. So,
who's my favorite receiver?
You know who he is. I just went blank. Got like to take his jersey off and walk off the field.
Antonio Brown? Yeah.
Antonio Brown. Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure Antonio Brown actually is a cool dude to be around. He's probably not a cool dude to coach, but he's probably a cool dude to play with.
Has he been picked up yet?
He came out and said he's actually not playing.
No.
Now it's Antonio Brown, so take that with a grain of salt. But I'm sure people have offered him contract talks, and they are not what he wants. So
yeah, probably.
All right, Zach, I'll bring you Bob Brown's jersey. Okay, what name do you want on it?
Give me an Amari Cooper jersey. Top 5 wide receiver in the league. Thanks, Steve. I will look. I am
never winning a Super Bowl. That's what you put on there.
No, never gonna happen. I am a grade A first round draft pick fan. We've talked about this many times. I will never in my life be a fan of the Browns. They do not deserve grade A fans like that.
I'm that way with the Colts, so I get you.
Yeah. It's just they don't deserve it, and they suck. So
yeah.
I'm glad all bad things are happening to the Browns right now.
Until one day you get a new job and you're covering the Colts and the Browns.
Well, that would really...
You have to pay me a lot of money.
Then
for real, you would have to pay me a lot.
You
would have to pay me a lot of money to do anything involved with the Colts, man.
Yeah. That would... What would be... Would $2 million do it?
Easy. That
200,000.
That's what you guys should be.
That's more of my border right there.
Really?
Yeah.
The NRO.
NRO.
The new radio order.
Yeah. There you
a lot of money to me and people I know.
Order.
That's the bad part about being around pro athletics is the people with money and you're just the guy who doesn't have it like that. You know?
Yeah, you know a lot of them.
Yeah, it's crazy to hang out with them.
But even somebody like who was in it, like Kari, he makes good money in the whole world of money, but he doesn't make a ton comparatively to what the NFL is. I don't know what his new deal is, but he's not like he's pulling up in some crazy whip or anything. Like he seems really smart with his
he's
money.
extremely financial. Dude is extremely financial.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting there talking to him about like a Hemlock loan and stuff on my house. Like he's getting into it. I'm like, hey man, I didn't go to Vanderbilt. Stop talking about this.
Yeah. Don't worry. I went to Vanderbilt and I'm not that way. So
he's giving me like the Nassib chat.
Oh,
you remember what Nassib when he was doing the whole chat thing during like Hard Knocks?
Yeah,
he was giving you that.
It was basically that. Yeah, he's pretty smart. He's pretty smart with his money, which is good. You need to have that nowadays.
Whatever.
Yeah.
One day I will have more responsibilities and it will have to happen. But until then, I just let all my money sit in my checking account. So
yeah, well. 615-844-5600. We'll talk about that afterwards. If you want to jump in, I got some ideas for you. We want to hear from you. We're going to make you smart. We're going to make you a millionaire, all right? It's real easy.
Well, more than a millionaire. More of one.
Yeah, it's real easy, though. Let's Jeff in the borough. Jeff, how you doing? Speaking of millionaires, Jeff, how you doing?
Very good. How you doing, guys? I just want to say, Zach, did you see the football thing yesterday? The Board of Control did for high school football. I'm sure
no, I didn't. What's up?
Well, they went down from the mercy rule from 35 to 30 points from the mercy rule.
Good.
35 to 30. So it's still a running clock in the second half, though. If it's the first half, it has to play it out. But the running clock will be the second half. And of course, if it's below 30, it'll be regular timing. Yes.
What point do you think it should be, Jeff?
I think 35 was fine. 30, it don't really. You don't have to have it. Yeah, you don't have to have it. The mercy rule it's only come in. It's only been in Tennessee 2 or 3 years. It hasn't been all the time. So
I think it should have been. I think it should be 25. Because if a team gets up on 25 in one half, more than likely you're not going to have a comeback. It's typically they're going to go way past 25. And I think with some of these high school games, it's egregious how long they take when you're just watching domination.
So you tell me when you go to a high school game, you want it done in 20 minutes. Is that what you want?
Yes.
You go on.
Yes.
You know what you're like? You're like guys at the high school baseball games. They'll do the music or announcing. They'll say, I want this game to hurry up so I can go to work tomorrow. I got to get up and work 4 a.m. Then don't be doing it. If you got to get up and go to work early, don't be doing it. They sit there and they'll be an extra, 8 or 9. Well, I can't have that. I'm going to play 70 or 5 every time. They say, let's have a mercy rule so I can go home.
Hey, Jeff, you know why those people are doing the jobs? Because no one else wants to do them.
I'm just saying, don't complain when the game's long, when it's 7 or 8. Don't complain when it's extra innings, and you're sitting there, I've got to go to work at 4 a.m.
Jeff, you're not
complain.
For the working man, are you?
No, I'm for it, but don't complain when you've got to go to work. Then don't do it. Let somebody else do it. They can do it. Don't complain about going to work early. I can't. That's your problem, not mine, that you're going to 4 a.m. working. That's not my problem.
Look, hey, you're talking to someone. The hypothetical does not apply to me. I work at 4 p.m. So I still want it to end early.
I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about.
You don't care about the people. You're the establishment. You're not Jeff from the borough anymore. You're just the establishment, whatever you call it.
Whatever. I'm the most hated caller. And I can tell you this. If something happened to me tonight, y'all had the biggest party at the Omni Hotel. It'd be every hotel room would be rented to you and Pogue and Bert and the rest of you, all the callers. Y'all, Jeff and the Burrow's gone. Red Solo Cup. Let's have a party. It'd be Jeff and the Burrow's gone, and he ain't going to call no more, and all this other stuff. Dane and Kevin and the rest of them, they can't stand me either. So that's just the way it is. So, and everything else. So y'all have a good day.
Hey,
have a good one.
Hey, thanks, Jeff. I love Jeff.
I don't love him, but
it's just I love it because it just.
I appreciate him calling in.
It spins into pure anarchy so quickly.
Yeah.
Like
those are my favorite
party
parts.
go to.
Those are my favorite
guys.
parts.
You guys need to fill in the blank here for me. I thought we were not talking about football.
I don't know where the hell that went, Ray.
Yeah, we went from football.
I have no idea what happened.
We don't talk about football in the spring.
That was a pure nosedive. Yeah, I know. You're right. This guy gets mad at me talking about spring football, and he's bringing it up here. Are we in summer yet?
No, end of June.
End of June, summer.
Yeah.
No,
we're close.
We're close to it. Yeah.
We couldn't tell by the weather outside, but yes.
Jeff is always welcome to call on the show. I love having Jeff call
Absolutely.
in. He sends me emails and stuff, leaves me voicemails. It's real fun. It's a good time, and he's always welcome to call in. I love it. If we have a party, Jeff's invited always. Now, if he wants to show up, that's on him. But all the same, I don't know where that call went. that thing went south really quick. But it's also why I enjoy his calls, because we're being boring radio people talking about topical things, golf and all that, and then here comes Jeff just like a bull in a china shop. What do you think about the new high school rule for mercy rule going 35 to 30 points, and then all of a sudden he's talking about how everybody hates him? I mean, come on. That's excitement. That's living on the edge. All right? That's what that is. We could talk about Phil Mickelson and live golf all live long day. I don't even remember where we left off on that now because it's gotten so crazy.
No, that's Jeff's a call that Jeff's a professional check for us, but we have to learn to navigate because it totally just punched me in the face. I have been radio mentally punched in the face, and I'm unsure where to pick up from.
I don't know. We were talking about the PGA Tour suspensions, and I don't know. Going back to that conversation, I don't know what the future holds, because these are as they go off, and the full list. There's a full list. It's 17 of them. I don't want to go through every single one, but
I don't know 16 of them. Well, 15. Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, Bryson DeChambeau. But Dustin Johnson. You know who that name is. But
only because we talked about him yesterday.
Exactly. That's why you know it. But I don't know if these are perma bans. I don't know if this is going to be something that they just have to go through now, that the hoops to get back into the PGA Tour. It feels like I said earlier, it feels like the PGA Tour they're setting it up to, if this does fail, they're going to make all 17 of these people crawl back. Like, that's going to be your way in. You're not just going to be welcomed back with wide open arms. Like, they're going to put on a show if this happens.
We have to beg? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to have to make them beg. And look, we're still not done on this. Ricky Fowler's name is out there in talks with LIV. That's another huge golfer. I wonder how long until every golfer, like, to say the world just happens where they just keep pumping out $100 million per player. They just keep pumping it out. How many players is the PGA Tour going to ban? How is it going to get to a certain point where the PGA Tour is only going to have brand new golfers?
This is unheard of. People don't know what the PGA Tour is up against. They are up against FU money.
Yeah.
What's the thought process behind the $200 million that Phil Mickelson got? What's the long-term goal? What's the play? There's none of that. There's none of that. I'm telling you right now, there's none of that. The family that is backing this league is worth $1.4 trillion. I wish I could show you a visual of what $1.4 trillion looks like. If I held up a paper with $100,000 written on it physically, if you're looking at the camera, copy and pasted that 100 times to, whatever that is, 10 million, and then I copy and pasted that like 1,000 times, it's still not even close to $1 trillion. It's not even close. They could burn half the room on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just didn't buy the PGA Tour.
I wanted to ask you guys, I know we're about to a break here in a few seconds. In terms of the actions taken by the PGA to suspend the 17 players, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that was warranted or not?
Oh, absolutely warranted. That's their angle. I'm not going to blame the PGA Tour for banning them. I'm not going to get mad at Phil Mickelson for going and getting his money. And the logical step for the PGA Tour is to threaten people's legacies. If you go to that league, you're not welcome back in the PGA Tour. If you're not welcome back in the PGA Tour and that league just goes, oh, we're done. Uh-oh, now you're out of leverage. That's their leverage. Totally understand it, totally get it, and it's warranted.
Well, when we come back, I've got a thought process that kind of goes along those lines. It's going to be something that I don't think with this, people aren't talking about it, and I do feel like this is an original thought that I just had. I was sitting on the toilet. But I had it all the same, and I think it's something people are overlooking. We need to run to a break. First, though, the NBA Finals are here, and so is your chance to score big on FanDuel Sportsbook. Throughout the NBA Finals, FanDuel is giving new customers $200 in free bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Bet the money line, point spreads, player props, and so much more. Plus, you can combine your bets for an even bigger payday with a same-game parlay. Bruno and I, we love the same-game parlays.
Love it.
They make it so much simpler and easy. The way they do it on the app, I love the UI of it the most. That it's just putting them together is so simple, and you can really keep some trends and things. Even if you're watching during the game, you can get some trends up that you can see how it's going and just put those up and stack them up, make an extra cash on that. Just sign up with promo code TAS. If you haven't tried FanDuel, now is the perfect time to give it a shot, because the only thing sweeter than watching the finals is cashing in on all the action. Join today with promo code TAS, the afternoon stretch, TAS, and turn a $5 bet into $200 in free bets. Win or lose, make every game feel like Game 7 with FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel, official partner of the NBA. Now, in the state of Tennessee, you got to be 21 and up and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit, or check that, non-withdrawable free bets that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Afternoon traffic's on the increase even more in the last few minutes. I-40 East. That's what we're looking at live here at Spence Lane, headed out towards the airport. All that traffic continuing out through Wilson County. That's been in pretty good shape so far out through Wilson County. It got a little bit tricky earlier on 24 East back towards Murfreesboro. A lot of radar scattered down the interstate out here on I-40 through parts of Kingston Springs. Hey, Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, they're home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. They have other flavors. Check them all out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
My dad served in Vietnam, the 82nd Airborne Division. He never talked about it, and my mom knew not to ask. So Dad buried himself in work and self-medicated, and would lose his temper sometimes. Loud noises would put him on edge. It got rough, so I finally said to him, Dad, you gotta get help.
As a family member or friend, you may be the first to notice when a veteran you love has been going through changes. Things like withdrawing, drinking more, or increased anger could be a sign of a larger health concern, but help is available.
Dad finally went to VA for one-on-one and group therapy and got some really great tools to help him manage things. And I got my dad back.
Listen to hundreds of inspiring stories at maketheconnection.net. and learn how you can support the veterans in your life. Treatment works. Recovery is possible.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get all your NASCAR news every weekday right here on the Final Lap. And Joey Logano took home the checkered flag from Gateway this past weekend, new on the Cup Series schedule. Up next is some road course action from Sonoma. So grab all the latest NASCAR news, race recaps, driver reviews, stats, and info every single weekday right here.
Hi, I'm Joey Logano, and you're listening to the Final Lap with Terry Murphy.
And check out the Final Lap Weekly, our NASCAR talk show, wherever you get your podcasts. Every single weekday right here.
Love it. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack, because that's how you end up in a body bag. Love the Wolfpack. For life. NWO. Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. It's strange. I'll tell you. Very strange. We're going back-to-back shows of talking the whole hour of golf. Which, I mean, it's the biggest story. It's just I didn't plan this the week ahead. That's what we would have been talking about.
I didn't plan this mentally at all until a minute before we get on air.
Yeah. Let this lead us up to the NFL season.
I know, right up to
we have thrown our papers.
Forget about golf completely.
We have thrown our papers because we have that little document now. We try to organize a bit more. We're trying to get more steadfast in our. We're starting to get more
every day. No one looks at it.
I look at it. I look at it. No,
this
is just Zach playing victim. Let him do it.
Okay. All right.
Woe is me. Anyways.
Go ahead.
Well, how is your little paper gone these past 2 days, huh?
The same topics have been on there, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying.
Never got to
so, because like as good as being organized is, there's nothing better than being good at improv and on the fly.
Theater, yes. On your
I love
toes all
theater.
the time. Jazz hands. So I said before we went into the break, I was going to give up a thought that I don't think a lot of people were talking about this. The PGA Tour right now, I mean, I feel like with this show, it's easy for us to say the PGA Tour is the villain. Like, I feel like in this story, I feel like the PGA Tour is the villain. Is that fair across the room?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No.
Not even close. Liv is 100% the villain.
They're making themselves the villain.
Really? You think Liv's the villain?
Absolutely. Every single person.
Can you expand?
Every single person from who I would call an insider in the golf world is 90% from what I've seen on the Twitter space. Granted, I don't look at any other golf spaces. Most are against Phil Mickelson. They want to keep the PGA Tour.
I'm talking about how we're looking at it.
Yes.
As like us in this room, we think the PGA Tour are the villains. Or do you not?
I don't think there's... No, I'm sorry.
Look, the way I look at it, Liv is saying, here, come get millions of dollars, and PGA's Tour is saying, no, stay away, and we're banning you.
I guess I'm a fence sitter. I don't think there is a villain.
That's me, too. I don't think... to each his own. That's how I feel.
The PGA Tour is heavily involved with charity, and I get that. So people will naturally go, well, Liv isn't as pious as the PGA Tour. Therefore, you could account Liv as the quote-unquote villain. Look at the back money, obviously, what the owners have done. Insinuating, because it's not, they don't direct the ownership to like the Crown Prince. It's a wealth group ran by, whoever.
Yeah, some schmuck probably. Yeah.
Well, not a schmuck if you run that wealth group.
Well, true. Well, okay, so I'll talk about it from just my views. I believe in this story. From my eyes, I think the PGA Tour, they are the villain of this, because once again, they're closing things out. They're closing people out. They're pushing people away. They're doing everything they can to make sure these people are hurt. If Liv goes away, I think the PGA Tour, like I said, I think they're going to make them crawl back through glass and sand and dirt and mud and urine and just everything. They're going to make them go through the crucible just to get back on the PGA Tour. I fully believe that. Something that's not being talked about as much, if more and more people, more and more of these big names, like we heard with Ricky Fowler, are defecting. I love that word. Defecting,
and which, by the way, all of them are using right now. I didn't look this up beforehand, so I just took your word at it yesterday. Everyone uses that word. Defecting.
They really
Yes.
are. If more and more of these big names,
Strategic, by the way, it is not unintentional. They're using that word.
If they more and more of them keep defecting and go to live and all that and getting paid millions and millions, this opens up a humongous chance for unnamed young golfers. This opens up a humongous opportunity that if you're in the PGA Tour right now and you're in the PGA, you're good at golf clearly. But if you're somebody that just doesn't have a name yet, maybe you've just constantly been at the bottom, where you're getting a lot of these big names out of there, the PGA Tour is going to have to build up new people. That's just what's going to happen here. Tiger eventually is going to hang it up. That's going to happen. And after that, and who's left? Because everybody's going to LIV right now. Everybody's going to live. And if you're a young, good golfer right now, now is the time to be brand building. Double down and jump in on this, and then also compete and show up. Like you got to show up. Obviously,
if I was advising these players just as a friend, I would say because there are going to be people that take a live offer for $1 million, right? They're going to be like, oh, PGA Tour, I don't make anything, but I'll make $1 million at live. Be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. Don't go to live unless you can retire from golf after your contract.
$100 million. Do it. $50 million.
I'd say still do it.
$20 million.
Still do it.
10.
This is where you need to be careful. If
Yeah.
you think you have a potential at legacy, this is where you have to really trust yourself at 10 or so, but you feel like you could be the next big thing. The PGA Tour will serve you better in the long term than something with lives where there's so much still unknown.
Yeah.
No business plan. They don't have to build a business plan for investors. They are the investor, and they're going on the fly. And they don't have to. It's private. They don't have to share anything publicly. That's a lot of risk when there isn't a lot of money up front.
Yeah.
It would be a shame you take a $10 million deal, lose half of the taxes, you have $5 million. Still great money, but you want to capitalize on your earning potential while you have the ability to play your sport.
Yeah.
A longer term deal.
Well,
you go to live, you get banned from the PGA Tour, and for whatever reason, live goes down. They're like, oh, we don't want to do it anymore. And then you're banned from the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
And they don't have to bring you back.
Well, and it's also, like I said, if you're young and you're not super sponsored, or I don't really know how that works super well there, but you could get these, the TaylorMades, the Titleists, the Pumas, all those. You can get those sponsorships because more and more of these people are just selling out. Well, and do I blame them? No. But they're selling out to go to live. That this could open up a ton of opportunities just of growth. So there is a silver lining in this for people inside the PGA to stay on right now. I mean, Rory McIlroy.
There is a world where I believe every single party, if you are involved with golf, you are winning in this story.
I do too.
Journalist, for or against Phil Mickelson.
Gosh.
Journalist, for or against Phil Mickelson, you're winning. We're more sympathetic towards Phil Mickelson. He tunes into the show twice. Yeah. You're against Phil Mickelson, a lot of people are going to agree with you in those comments. You're going to get a lot of engagement.
Yep.
You're the PGA Tour. No one's been talking about golf more, and they want to see. If you're a young player, you're going to have a wide open. You're going to have a wide open view to build your brand,
and all this
exposure.
stuff. Yep.
You're a live player. You got paid. Bank.
Yeah, you got paid a lot of money.
Everybody's winning right now in golf.
And
good for
if you're
golf.
on the live too, you're going to get looked at just because how many people are looking at it right now. So, I watched it too. I don't know if you watched any of it on YouTube. It was a little strange.
I did not. I don't watch golf.
Broadcast was a little strange. I will say it felt very quick. Once you figured out how the broadcast was like working, then it was a lot more digestible, I would say is the best word. But it was moving very quickly. It was very snappy. You could tell that this was a little bit of their first time, which it was. And just like with anything, I don't care who you are. Live TV is live TV. Live radio is live radio. Things are going to happen. But I think it went well enough. That's what I can say. Well enough, which is good. All right, we need to run to a break. If y'all want to jump in, 615-844-5600 here on the afternoon stretch.
Good afternoon. Quite busy actually on 65 North, trying to make your way up towards Goodlettsville, trying to get past Vietnam Vets. Watch your speed 24 out through parts of Rutherford County. They've been cracking down. Traffic still moving on 65 through Williamson County, just heavy once you get down through Spring Hill. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is now hiring. Check out that menu at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
I'm Kerry Murphy with a Final Lap NASCAR update. Cole Pearn is back with Martin Truex Jr. again. This weekend, he's going to serve as the race engineer on the number 19 car at Sonoma. And JGR has said this is just a one-race agreement, filling in for Nick Burton, who is the regular engineer attending a wedding this weekend. Pearn has been back with the team before, serving as a spotter back in 2021 at the Charlotte Roval. The Sonoma Shoot is back after taking a few years off, if part of a racetrack has such vacation time in their contract, I guess. This part of the racetrack connects turn 4 to turn 7 as the cars head into the downhill S part of the course. Martin Truex Jr. was the last driver to win under this configuration back in 2018. Continuing on our Martin Truex Jr. themed episode, apparently, he said a decision on his future could come in a couple of weeks as he weighs his options for 2023 and beyond. He said, quote, a lot going on. It's a big decision, a lot of factors. I would say within a couple of weeks, you will know what I'm doing, end quote. General Manager of Sonoma Raceway, Jill Gregory, is on, and you got to be excited heading into this weekend and all the planning that's gone on, right?
Oh, well, absolutely. Right after the checkered flag, and as we're sweeping up the confetti out of off the front stretch, we are already planning. And to your point, we're talking to our fans all the time, so I think it's that constant communication right now. But yeah, there's no rest. As soon as we finish one event, we're straight on to the next one.
This is the Final Lap.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street, reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DRAG for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DRAG for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code DRAG.
You can unlock more cash than you realize from your home's equity with a cash out refinance today. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can unlock thousands in less than 3 weeks. But you've got to act right now before rates go up. So when you're looking to unlock the cash in your home, Rocket can. Call 8338-ROCKET today or go to rocketmortgage.com to get started.
Rates current as of 12/12/21. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030. Call 800-490-1233 for disclosures and cost information.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch.
About to say goodbye again.
Yeah, about to say goodbye. It's Thursday today.
Yes, sir.
I completely forgot it's Thursday. You got judo today?
No, sir.
No judo?
Going back home, playing Rust.
Gosh. I got a rhythm game tonight. Full count rhythm for anybody who wants to come out to Drake Street
Hey,
Park.
man. I always say, we have the hardest jobs in the world, right? It's ironic. It's sarcastic. It's not true. But having to do a whole nother voice job after this would kind of be tiring.
I think it's not tiring in the sense of like I'm dreading it. I don't, because I love it. This is what I do.
Who?
The games.
Asked. I'm sorry.
You did.
Yeah, I know.
When you said it was tiring. I love it. And the people I work with is great. I think I'm really blessed and lucky to work not only here but also there, like with the people that I want to work with, not like bozos, that I'm just like forced with. So I enjoy it.
This is something we can mention before a break because it's not that big, but we can talk about it. Oscar De La Hoya's official Twitter, 3 hours. Just received 10-figure offer to sell at Golden Boy Boxing. What should I do? Just tweets that out. What do you think he should do?
I'll tell you what happened. Yeah. It's not true.
Yeah. Oh, he's just making it up. Leverage.
He's high on cocaine.
Oh. Hey, man, you're probably right.
That's 100% with him. That guy loves the booger sugar. All right, that guy loves snorting the old fun dust. All right, that guy's got quite a sniffer on him.
What else would drive you to post that picture of yourself in the netfish outfit?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right, first hour's done. We got a second hour coming up. Phone lines are wide open. We already had a couple callers. I want more though. I'm not. Phil Mickelson's not calling. So somebody's got to call in.
I don't blame him.
615-844-5600. If we don't have a call on the next side of this, Bruno and I are just going to talk fighting the whole hour. So this is on you now. First hour's done. Second hour coming up.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Andy Field. The House Select Committee presents findings tonight in its first public hearing on the January 6th investigation. It will include witness testimony and video evidence from the day, including footage from a documentary filmmaker who was profiling a far-right group. ABC's Jonathan Carl.
In the midst of the chaos and carnage as the Capitol was attacked on January 6th was a documentary filmmaker and his crew. Tonight, he will tell his remarkable story and show for the first time the footage that he and his crew shot as the mob attacked the Capitol.
In Maryland, police responding to a shooting in Smithsburg, an hour and a half northwest of Baltimore. Washington County Sheriff's Office confirming there are multiple victims and that the suspect is no longer a threat. And in northeast Alabama, police say they shot and killed a man who reportedly tried to enter an elementary school. Doors were locked, no children injured. Police did not say if the man was armed. This is ABC News.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boost that turn your H2O into H2O, so you feel like
I like to boost it, my vitamins can boost it. I like to boost it, we like to boost it.
Because it's not just vitamins, it's Boost, the fizzing amazing vitamin boost.
Find Boost, the vitamin boosts, at Walmart or Walmart.com and give yourself a boost with Boost.
Hey Nashville, Ray here from Run With It. Let me tell you about our sponsor, Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House. And with 4 locations in Bellevue, Murfreesboro, Spring Hill, and East Nashville, they're your home for the best gourmet pizza and craft beers in Music City. Join me on Monday nights at the East Nashville location for poker night. And if you think you know everything, try Wednesday night trivia at both locations. Gourmet pizzas, craft beers, online at BoomBozz.com. Boom Boss Craft Pizza and Tap House.
From the big game to the big dance, Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is your game day and watch party headquarters. Don't worry about entertaining guests and trying to feed everyone. Sit back, relax, cheer on your team, and let the Bar Lines staff take care of you. Grab a Bar Lines signature cocktail and enjoy some wicked deviled eggs. Or a Bar Lines double stack and finish it off with some Jack and Coke chocolate cake. Bust your belly and your bracket at Bar Lines. Located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown. Nashville Sports Radio is hitting the road. Join the Bill King Show the first Friday of every month as he broadcasts live from Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Check out the WNSR calendar for the dates and be there as Nashville Sports Radio hits the road the first Friday of every month. Come be part of the Bill King Show live from Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. The Bill King Show live from Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel. On the air and everywhere with Nashville Sports Radio.
Okay, it's happening.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Now here's Bruno and Zach.
Five o'clock here in the Music City. Second hour of the afternoon stretch. Bruno Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studios. I threw out a thread. Nobody called in. We were going to talk fighting for a full hour. Everybody has to say thank you to Tony in Nolensville because Tony in Nolensville picked up the phone and dialed in. Tony, how are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, but I'll be honest with you, and I don't know that much about all the fighting I just know it from what I hear from Bruno and you and Ray, but it's hard for me to keep up with it. Y'all talked a little bit. Yesterday's show was great about the golf and all, and surprised there's not going to be some blows in that when they all come together at the U.S. Open. I mean, I think a lot Mickelson and some of them Johnson, I think they've created enough where I think some people might want to throw some blows. But
let's hope. Let's only hope that happens.
Yeah, and that's the truth. But as far as the fighting today, guys, I know the extreme fighting, and a lot of that is huge, and the octagon and all that. But I'm still old traditional. Used to love the boxing and the fights that took place with the greats back in the day. And we've just lost that, I think, through the Olympic Games and through a lot of other stuff. I just don't think the interest is there for the traditional boxing and fighting. But in your extreme fighting and your stuff now, I think that's what's overtaken everything. Y'all agree to that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the traditional sense, I mean, boxing, Floyd Mayweather kind of keeping boxing in the top numbers, right? But who is the top sell? Canelo, Tyson right now, and they're getting like 600K pay-per-view buys, and that's they only come around really once a year. Canelo's pretty active recently, fighting every 2 to 3 months, but for Fury, who fights every year or two, to only be 600K is like Israel Adesanya numbers. UFC has put together a business and a product that is extremely consistent out there, so that the UFC's competitors have to be a little consistent. It's definitely overtaken it. They've built a better business than boxing. It's kind of because boxing ate itself, 100%. I think most people would agree to that.
I think on the local level, of course, your name's out there, Bruno, as far as what you participate in. And who's our guy from? Is he from Dixon or Ashland City?
Caleb Plant.
Plant, yeah. I think that y'all got a name out there locally anyway. And I think when y'all take the stage, I do think people take interest, and they do, try to keep up with it. If not ordering on, pay-per-view or anything, but at least keeping up with it through, the internet and everything else. But I just don't know if the great interest is still there the way it once was. But like I say, that's just me speaking. Who knows? One thing's for sure, we're going to continue to see some pushing and shoving. They call it fights, but bench clearing fights that supposedly take place in baseball. Sooner or later, I think you're going to see one up there in Knoxville in baseball if they keep up their antics. But
they definitely invite it. They definitely invite it.
Yeah, they're inviting it. I'll say that. And by the way, this weekend go Irish. Let me get that in there. There's 5 SEC teams playing. I'd love to see 4 from the 4 other states to get there. But anyway, that's just my take on it.
I agree, Tony. I've been saying every good Christian needs to come together. This is we're all in this together. All right.
I think you're right about that too. It's just. With the fighting and some of the extreme fighting that goes on. And like I say, it's I think if they showed more of it, maybe in prime time, I know this is something that has surprised me about when I have watched it. Bruno, you can elaborate on this a lot. Women love the sport, the fighting that goes on now. They seem to just love it. And I've seen more and more when I have watched parts of it. They are just all into it, and I don't know if it's the blood or if it's just the extreme fighting or if it's whatever it is. They seem to really be into it. So, but anyway, I'm gonna hang up, guys. I'm gonna let y'all talk a little bit more on it.
Oh, hold on,
Great
Tony.
show as always. Sorry, I've been away a couple of days.
Hey, Tony. Let me ask you a quick question, just because you talked a lot about fighting. I want to talk about something I know you actually care about. What'd you think of Christian Little going into the transfer portal?
Well, it don't surprise me. And matter of fact, I put a post out the other day on one of the Vanderbilt, and this is my take, And I know we got a lot of Pollyannas that seem to think everything stayed rosy and good throughout the year, and everybody wants to look at everything in the positive and the silver lining. But I made comment on a post in one of the Vanderbilt sites that we need 2 or 3 of them to actually enter the portal. They just need to move on. There's some that's just a couple of players that have just gone straight downhill. And next year, guys, it looks like we're going to be pretty – we thought we were young this year. I think we're going to be real young next year. And it did not surprise me, him entering the portal, and it won't surprise me if 1 or 2 more enter the portal. I just think there's something amiss with that team this year. The one thing everybody has concluded, all from every sports channel to every news, TV broadcast, the most inconsistent team Corbs might have probably had in his time here at Vandy. Yes, that's the one thing they really were. They come out there and play like a number 1 team, then they come out there and play like a team that didn't even need to be ranked. So,
yeah. But
that didn't surprise me. But we still got Corbs. I tip my hat to him. He tried everything in the world to get this team to click. It seemed to come together a little bit. Too little, too late, though, down the stretch.
Yeah.
But no, that did not surprise me to answer your question. So,
no. Well, I appreciate
it, guys. Hey, always a great show. Always good talking to you. And I'm sure the stretchers out there going to the CMA are loving your show.
Oh, yeah, that's going on right now. Thanks, Tony.
The CMAs happen every month, so.
It does kind of feel like that, yeah?
No, it's just a telltale sign of the summer officially starting.
Oh, man. Yeah, because when's Bonnaroo this year?
Dude, don't ask me when.
It's like around this. They're around the same time. They're like a week off, or I don't remember when Bonnaroo is, but there's one thing that you could miss me with is gigantic music festivals. I don't condone anybody who I don't want to belittle anybody who likes going to them. If you like it, that's your thing.
I don't think I could love someone that goes to them.
Yes.
Like if you if you were like, we have to go to this, I would be like, no.
No, I couldn't do it.
I'm not going.
Hot, sweaty, dirty, $48 waters. I mean, it's
everyone there is on drugs.
Oh,
so
well,
it's
true.
Psychopaths.
Yeah. Yeah, how does that get by? I feel like we know it happens, right? Yeah. I guess there's a rest over here.
Not me going there.
Not me going there.
I'll stick to my sleep.
Yeah, Christian Little went into the transfer portal. He's there with.
Yeah, I was with Tony. I knew that some people are going to want to get out on their own volition. Some people might be not forced out, but encouraged that, hey man, that you might not play here. We are going to look to actively replace you. Either stick up to the challenge or maybe look at other options.
I don't, because you've talked about it from the football side of the transfer portal. We're in this new world where the transfer portal is just like, it's everything. I don't. It's strange though to see someone like Christian Little who, committed to Vandy at such a young age.
He was the third guy behind, not really the third guy, but he was the guy in the playoff that they went to when it wasn't Leiter or Rocker. Little was out.
Right, and he was. That was a problem this whole season was the third day starter. It just got changed up so many times. There was never anything solidified there. And you have some young pitching talent, obviously with Carter Holton and Futrell that they're young pitchers that are. You would think Christian Little would want to stay in Vanderbilt because that's just where if you're an MLB pitcher, I mean there's a good chance that you played at Vanderbilt. Like you see him all over the place now. There's a litany of proof that you want to be there.
I think this is where Vandy fans can kind of, not recognize what I would call the dark side of sports that every single program does. There's not one program. I'm a big Corbin fan, but every team is going to want players to leave. Maybe I don't even know if Christian Little was that type of, on that list of that. There are some transfers that happen that the team wants to happen. And every team does it. You want to try and get if you don't believe in a guy or the talent in the long term, you're going to want them out and you're going to want someone else in. Simple.
The transfer portal's evolved a ton, obviously, since you were in those days. But, I mean, you have plenty of stories of people that entered in and then wanted back, right?
Yeah, no, I got messages from people. Vanderbilt, I mean, I felt bad for it. People thought I was anti-Vanderbilt when I first left and first started covering. I wasn't. I was not. People would ask me, what should I do? You shouldn't. I told one person you should transfer. I told one person you have the option to transfer and big programs will come after you too. And both of them both of them did well for themselves. Every single other person I said, you need to stay. If you want to ever even sniff the NFL, you need to stay at Vanderbilt. Half of them transferred. Half of them didn't. Half of them finished at Vanderbilt. One might make the NFL. The rest, I mean, message me back a year later. Can you get me on the team? No.
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Yeah, because I don't even know the rate on that. Of
imagine going from an SEC school to never playing football again. You know?
Yeah. Well, what's the rate also of being able to get back? I don't know what it is nowadays, just because there's so many that go into it.
The rate? Like percentage of people that just go back to their school?
Yeah.
One happened. I think DeRicky Wright was a very good player who's going to come back to Vanderbilt after being in the portal, which that makes sense. He was a great player, and he probably just didn't get offers that he wanted to. So he's like, I'll come back. And then they were like, you're good, so we'll take you back.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, Vanderbilt was glad they transferred. And I told those kids, in the interest of those kids, I said, you need to stay at Vanderbilt. Great education. You're not going to Auburn. Stop thinking that. You're not going to Auburn.
Yeah.
You're not going to Alabama. One did. The one I told. The one I said, you're extremely talented. If you don't think Vanderbilt's best for you, leave.
Yeah.
Went to Alabama.
Well, that's where I think, too, it's like for Christian Little, this is leaving Alabama. Baseball-wise.
You know who else left Alabama? Alvin Kamara. Maybe not for the same reasons, but
Jalen Hurts.
A lot of people leave the Alabamas of the world and do good for themselves. Christian Little can leave and do good for himself. And maybe just Vanderbilt maybe it just didn't work out. Things just don't work out. Sometimes it's unexplainable.
It always kind of felt like that. It's like, this kid has talent. Tim Corbin and his staff can produce MLB quality pitchers. They can mold young men into being the stars of tomorrow. Something just always didn't. My mom, if she's listening, would say something wasn't Jihan. Something wasn't Jihan between Little and the Vandy boys. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Even to me, when I heard Corbin speak about him, when I would hear his name just come up on the broadcast, whenever it was the day that he was going to be pitching, something just didn't feel kosher. I don't know what it was. We'll probably never know. We'll probably never know what it was. It could. I mean, you talked about how some teams kind of could push kids out to the transfer portal. I don't know if that's a case of what's going on here for Christian.
Yeah, Little. I don't know either. I'm giving you reasons things happen.
It does happen, but the thing that we know is that Christian Little is going to be very much an attractive piece for a lot of schools.
He is not going to be in the category of people I would say come back or you have no other option. He's going to have options.
He's going to have a lot of options. And that's the benefit of leaving the Alabamas, right? Like, that's the benefit of leaving the Vanderbilts in baseball, is that 98% of the teams in the country are going to be there. How crazy would it be, though? Because now we're just pontificating. How fun. I actually think it'd be fun if he goes to Tennessee. I mean, if you're Vitello, if you're Tony Balls right now, you are chomping at the bit to get this kid. Maybe you can make him work, maybe not, but it's more or less just a.
I mean, that's just a petty move.
But is that not completely on brand with Tennessee Vols baseball? Is that? I mean, they would just pick him up just to be like, hey, yeah, we got Vandy's pitcher, because they had a pitcher. I think this beginning of the season. I can't remember the name. It slipped my mind, but he transferred to right before the season. He transferred right to Tennessee. I can't remember. It may not have been a pitcher. There was a player. It's just escaping my name now. But yeah,
I don't like it.
You don't like that?
No.
That would be hilarious.
It would be.
That'd be worth talking about.
I hate giving praise to Tennessee because there's 50% of Vanderbilt fans come out and just call me a pathetic person and a terrible human being for doing it. So
well, you are, but not for that reason. Though.
I know. They just get the reasons wrong, which I can't stand.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come after me, just know me.
They still found bullseye, but it was a lucky blind
Lucky
throw.
guess.
All right, we need to run to a break. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600. We want to jump in with you. We want to talk to you. Let's get involved in the show today. Before we go to that break, though, we got to talk about our friends over at Sixth Man Movers. Look, right now they're hiring people all this summer. If you're looking for a job right now, which a ton of people are, maybe you're a secondary job, you want to add in some extra income, a lot of people are doing it right now, especially with the economy the way it is. And then also you're wanting to get paid to work out, Six Man Movers has you ready. All you got to do is go to sixmanmovers.com, go click resources, and then right there you can click on We're Hiring, and it will have a full job application right there for you to fill out, and then you can get started on working, making some extra money. They're giving some good pay as well right now, but on top of that, like I said, you're getting paid to work out. That is what's happening. You go move some boxes out in this summer heat, you're going to lose some LBs and get paid to do it. It's going to be the best gym subscription you've ever had because it's going to pay you to lose weight. Go check them out. Once again, sixmanmovers.com. Get a part of their fantastic roster of tremendous motivated workers and teammates there with Six Man Movers. You're going to help. It's also a locally owned Nashville-based company, which is always where you want to go. Always shop local, buy local, and work local if you can. Sixmanmovers.com. Go check them out. Click resources again, and then click We're Hiring. Once again, that's Six Man Movers. Back after this here on the afternoon stretch.
Hayes Nissan of Rivergate is not the only choice when it comes to buying, selling, or trading your vehicle, but it is the best choice. Located at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison, Hayes Nissan of Rivergate has been serving the Middle Tennessee community for over 3 decades. That gives you confidence that Hayes Nissan of Rivergate can find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and your budget. And their friendly and knowledgeable staff will make sure you are in the right hands. If you're feeling rugged, check out their brand new Titans. Or you might be feeling sporty and want to check out the all-new Maximus. And don't forget about their award-winning parts, service, and body shop. They have everything you need to get you back on the road. Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com, where they are open 24/7 or in person at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison. Or if you want to give them a call, it's easy at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
So when we brought him home, we didn't realize that Bear, the rescue dog, was actually sick. He had very flaky skin. He was dropping a lot of fur, and the vet wanted to do steroid injections, special dog food. Nothing seemed to work, so I was at a dead end.
DINOVITE.com.
I've been hearing Dinovite on the radio for years. It never actually crossed my mind to try it until it finally sunk in. Oh, you're talking about hair and skin. And, all right, I'll try it. Well, it took probably 6 weeks, but after we started using Dinovite, no more flaky skin. He doesn't scratch and itch, and he started to put weight on.
Dinovite is nutrition.
I wish that we would have started the Dinovite right away. It would have been so much easier.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
Every rescue dog in America deserves Dinovite for 90 days.
DINOVITE.com.
Do you find yourself looking for new and exciting things to do locally with your family during the hot summer months? Thanks to Strike and Spare, you don't have to look any further. Sign up today for Kids Bowl Free. Kids Bowl Free is a summer pass where your kids 15 and under receive 2 free games of bowling every day. You can also purchase a family pass that allows you to join in on the fun. Visit any of the 5 local Strike and Spare locations in Hendersonville, Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, and Murfreesboro, or visit kidsbowlfree.com/Strike and Spare and sign up today. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
The world champions are back, and you can only hear them right here. Braves baseball is rolling, and Atlanta's ready for a huge 2022 season.
Swung on and struck out towards deep right field, rising through the sky, back to the wall, bombs away.
Tonight, the National League battles roll on from Truist Park in Atlanta as Dansby Swanson and the Braves face off against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Coverage begins tonight at 6:05 on your home for the Atlanta Braves, Nashville Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the afternoon stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams. Here inside the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600.
Where the magic happens, baby.
The
This
magic
is it.
happens.
Most fun show in Nashville.
It has to be. It really does have to be. Because we at least inform and have fun.
It's real fun. I don't come out here. Is a hot dog a burger? That's stupid.
Ray did that like the first week of the show, remember?
Ray, I didn't. That wasn't meant to be a slight towards you, man.
Yeah,
You know
no, I
that.
knew it wasn't, but it's just like that's the memory I have.
Whatever.
Hey, to be fair, I was the one who told him to do it too, so
Yeah.
So it was a slight of me, and I hate you.
I'm just glad. This is why I'm saying you guys have become more like me.
No, Ray.
Okay, what I totally was checking something on social media. What did I do?
I declare that this is the most fun sports talk show in Nashville.
Yeah.
And then I said, it's not stupid things. Because full disclosure, I listen to the other ones because I'm a competitively natured dude.
I don't. But
Yeah, I do. I don't listen to them religiously, but I tune in to try and compare. Because it's what I do. For me, it's like watching film, right?
Yeah.
So, and to be honest, I don't think anyone's as close to fun. And I said, it's not like we're doing stupid things like asking, is a hot dog a hamburger? And then Zach brought up, you did that like week 1, apparently, which I don't remember.
No,
but you brought it up. It was Zach's idea.
Is hot dog a sandwich?
Hot dog a sandwich. And then what was is
cereal soup?
Cereal soup. That was one. There was another one.
It's something like, is cucumber a vegetable or a fruit or something? Like it was
Which
weird.
it is.
Yes.
Seeds are inside of it. Everything that has seeds inside is a fruit. Yeah, that kind of stuff. It can be fun. This is like peak that time too for that kind of crap.
Dude,
LeBron or Jordan?
Oh, is taco a sandwich? Is that one too?
Maybe. Yeah. But that's for sports radio, Mount Rushmore season, right? That's what other people will call it too. They're like, okay, now to give me your Mount
I
Rushmore.
want to know
players.
I want to know what you would sacrifice for $100 million. Your deepest
honor, your integrity,
integrity. Bring up human people, family.
We can't say that because Phil Mickelson's our best friend now. So long-time listener, Phil Mickelson.
The problem is we've always said I'll joke around because I'm employed by Fox. Technically, in a roundabout way,
you are.
I'm employed by Fox, and I still currently am, even though I'm on injury reserve. So
and what a terrible time too, by the way, that you're not in the USFL because the WWE is doing a whole USFL week this week. I mean, what a miss!
I'm a very theatrical guy. I would have done very.
He would have
well.
never known. He would probably have stayed indoors.
That's what I told Zach.
Yeah.
That's what I would. That's
and
what
I
I
would
told
have
Zach.
went down for the games just to see.
You would have mentioned something to him like, "Hey, do you know that they're
I don't
down
care
there?"
for him. I'm talking about for me.
So you wouldn't want Bruno to go with you?
No, I don't care. I just need him to get me in the door.
Well, we all know how this relationship is.
I would step on his face.
I'm totally lost on what I was even saying, though.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Probably something boring.
My view of this relationship is completely different now.
You guys are more like me than you ever hoped to be.
No, I'm more like Bruno. I'm okay with that.
Oh, y'all are both more like me. I've rubbed off on both of you.
I think I have, even though it's a small on-air talent that lets me get by with doing a lot of terrible on-air things. And if I can patch up the bad stuff,
wrong.
I know. If I could just slowly work on patching up the bad stuff, we're gonna be okay. That's all I'm trying to say.
So
here.
Zach is the completely opposite. He's the big time talent that does very little terrible things on.
I think Zach plays an extremely.
I'm just saying. Wow, we're batting 100 today.
No,
boys.
I think Zach. I say Zach plays an extremely important role in this show, whereas he's the only professional on here.
I feel like Barry Zito when he was playing for the Sounds, like major league talent, but he's with the Sounds.
No, but it's that, but you I'm trying to compare it to something. It's uncomparable.
We have a Barry Zito bobblehead over
You
here.
do a lot of the business stuff right, but you need me. You need me, Batman. I complete you.
We're a good team. We're a good
We
team.
are.
That's why I created all this, and that's why you're more like me.
You gave me the platform, but you definitely became more like me.
Hey, speaking like a company that's becoming like other companies, Netflix. We've talked about this.
What a good segue.
That
by
was
the
a
way.
tremendous segue. See, that's
Netflix.
Netflix.
Big time talent, very little terrible things on air.
See, that's a me joke.
Yeah. Netflix, they are getting into live sports. Remember, we've been talking about this from
Hulu has live sports. Guess who has it now? Netflix.
all of them. I
Netflix.
feel like
I would never. Hulu has live sports. Netflix. We would never have live sports. Guess who has live sports now?
Netflix.
Netflix has live sports. They should just do a commercial and
They
just do
should
that.
do it all in red though, just like
God, we're geniuses. Why do we even put this on air?
Yeah, I know. This is free.
We need
Verizon and Sprint. Remember how Verizon had the "Can you hear me now?" Good, and then Sprint stole that guy. and
Yes,
it's the exact same thing.
Sprint bought that guy out. Genius.
Who do we talk to? I need to know somebody at
Hey,
Netflix.
no one at Netflix listens. By the way, that's why they're in this predicament.
Well, let's tag them. Let's start tagging on the show, and they'll start listening because that's how it works on Twitter, apparently.
You're talking about Steve from State Farm, right? Is that who it is? Is that the other one?
Who?
Steve from State Farm. Wasn't that also another guy?
Well, there was Jake from State Farm.
Oh,
No, it's a guy from Samsung. A guy from Samsung got poached. Or no, Samsung poached a guy from T-Mobile. Wasn't that right?
No. It was Verizon started it.
Yes.
And he was the "Can you hear me now" guy. And then Sprint, before they got bought out by T-Mobile,
poached him.
Straight up poached him over and just did the exact same thing. And he was like, "Can you hear me now?" Because
If
I'm on
Netflix
Sprint,
did that, it would be a highly engaging
sign Baker Mayfield, do the whole like Baker Mayfield.
Oh my
Saquon
God.
bod. Remember how they had like the weird bodies on the head?
Yes.
Do that whole thing just all in red. Netflix has live sports. Literally the exact same way. That would be
If anyone out there who's trying to recruit you guys, the number 615-844-5600. So
absolutely.
give them a call.
This is a good marketing strategy. They're starting off in kind of they're going with their idea. Has anybody seen the Formula One Drive to Survive on Netflix?
I've read it, but it's been some time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. It's all about Formula One, but it's like a behind the scenes of Formula One. It's been really popular. It's gained a lot of attention for F1 racing as well, and that is where Netflix is going. They're trying to get the buying rights to Formula One. The problem with this is Netflix has never had commercials. Netflix has never had commercials, and they've always prided themselves on it. But if they have live television, then that means they're going to have. I mean, they're gonna have to have commercials inside of Netflix. That's the real key to all this. So it's going to be turning away what their principles were, what they've done, what they've built upon. I mean, Netflix has also already kind of had like a bad rap going forward.
A company adapting to the times.
Well,
how crazy.
I hate to say it, feels like it's a little too late.
Yes, it is.
Because you look at Apple getting in now, they're trying to get Sunday Ticket, which I think that's been like silently, that deal's been done for a little bit. Got into MLB as well. Amazon with Thursday Night Football. You have so many different pieces of these that like it feels like Netflix should have done this 3 years ago.
Here's a tip to a brand from Bruno for what it's worth. But here's a tip to a brand. If you're going to make something integral to your business, right? Like example, Chick-fil-A. They're like, we're closed on Sundays. It's integral to our business, all right? It doesn't close down income streams other than the day it's not opened. But as far as advertise, like at least back in the day, now they have that blew their brand up. It's something they can use to their advantage.
But it wasn't done for that reason.
It appeals to other investors, right? Having a Christian background does appeal to people that are willing to go into the franchising. They can play to that advantage. If you're Netflix and you're pride yourself, we don't have advertisements. Who else in the space of financing, who cares, right? So now, if anything, that just hurts yourself when you eventually do have to transition. They're not appealing to anybody. Nobody subscribes to Netflix because they don't have ads. I still watch YouTube, and they have ads. I still watch Twitch. They have ads. It's not like when Netflix is like, we don't have ads.
Well, Netflix has been consistently raising their prices, too. You know, now it's like...
Because they pride themselves on not having ads.
Right.
But they're just self-inflicting a gunshot wound there.
What's going to happen, though? Say they do get the streaming rights to F1. They do start putting ads through that. It'll just be a moment of time until they start adding
Netflix wants to pride itself for diversity, great. If you're going to pride yourself on, hey, we eliminated an extremely huge income stream. Okay. That doesn't seem very business smart.
No. Well, what it could do is, maybe if they don't have commercials, maybe they have a different kind of commercial. That's not a commercial directly of like, here's a 30-second video of a partner. It could just be inside of the broadcast somehow where it's actually you're watching the broadcast still, but the ads are there. That's still very possible.
Same thing.
It's the same thing, but what it's doing, it's not taking away the viewer from watching. Because a lot of people watch YouTube. But YouTube is annoying with how they do theirs because every once in a while you'll get the skip ad. You'll get some that are unskippable. Sometimes you'll get a 10-minute ad. Like, I don't know how they know when you're away from the device, but you'll get those like 10-minute weird like let me tell you how to sell real estate like commercials that pop up, and it's like it's skippable within 5 seconds.
Hey, I play YouTube on my TV for judo. I'll put judo matches up. They have hour-long ads when you do it through a TV.
Yeah,
you know that hour-long ads
because they know you're probably
away
looking
from
away.
the remote.
Yeah, and so if they I don't know, it's kind
still
of crazy
ads.
for Netflix. I just feel like I know they're diving in with F1 is what they've done with their documentary series and everything following them, and that's been a big piece. So they're hoping that kind of keeps it alive going forward. But it just, like I was saying, it just feels like they're 3 years too late on this.
They are. If someone has a corporation on their mind, please call in. What corporation has found themselves in Netflix's point where they're on the brink of disaster? I mean, it is just Disney Plus has just came in and absolutely punched them in the face.
Yeah.
Is there any chance they respond and get back up because they don't have the facilities to create the original content they need?
Well, and it's the original content they have. A lot of it's ending. I mean, Ozark just finished forever. Like that's done. That was.
Are you ready for Stranger Things season 24? Because that Squid Game 3, they're like, we need
Squid Game 3. We captured more people this time. That's stupid. That's just like the worst. Squid Game 3. Now they got to do even weirder stuff.
I think Netflix is totally going to change if they want to survive. The Netflix is dead. It's already dead. It's like there's one of my favorite video game companies, Blizzard. They created World of Warcraft, Overwatch. A lot of the top gaming IPs in the world. They haven't released a new game. They're switching to a mobile game company. The Blizzard we knew died years ago, but now we're starting to finally see the fruits of it because there's a ton of money in mobile gaming.
There is so much.
A ton. They're like, why would we? It's the only way they could survive.
I'll tell you this. It's so funny. You mentioned this a few weeks ago. Me and my wife, when we go to restaurants, we've just like, I don't know what it is about Hendersonville. It's at dinner time, every restaurant's packed. But you can go sit at the bar and get instant service, and it's that way. So we've just gotten to where we're like, whatever, we're just going to go sit at the bar. We don't even think about it.
Yep.
We don't even talk to the host. Like, we just keep walking. And so we sit down, and there's always inevitably old dudes that are sitting there at the bar, alone or whatever. Old guy sitting there, he's playing, I think he was playing Clash of Clans or something, some mobile game. He's playing on his phone. He gets up, leaves. Another guy sits down. Another old guy orders food, starts playing Clash of Clans right there. I mean, it was like they were the same person, but they weren't. It was like, I watched.
You probably felt like you were in a fever dream, didn't you?
I was like, "What's going on here?" I was like, "These guys are just playing mobile games, and these are older people that are doing it."
Oh yeah.
So I know
they're the ones that play. They're the ones that have the money to really get good at the game.
Pump it in. I've had people that have confessed to me. They're like, "I've spent thousands of dollars on what was the game? Candy Crush." Candy Crush, where people just spend thousands and thousands of dollars on
If
Candy
I
Crush.
had $60K Texas NIL money, it would have gone to that. All of it. Thank God I didn't have that money to blow. Hearthstone was a huge one. I told that story, but I'm
embarrassed to tell that story now.
No, I'm not embarrassed to tell it. I don't want to get in trouble. But I don't think I can. No, the school would give us money to take the recruits out, and the recruit I had was like, I don't want to do anything. I went, okay. I got extremely wasted, went back at 2 a.m. in my room, and spent every ounce of that money on Hearthstone cards.
Oh, well, there you go.
I was just, I mean, true. I mean,
that's the school's fault for giving money like that.
Well, that's why NIL is a great thing, but a terrible thing. A lot of kids are going to, hey, go broke early while you have the chance, and that way, when you're later in life, you don't, because there's nothing worse than going broke when you're 40. There's no coming back from it. These kids are going to get a ton of money, go broke, and now you get a lesson learned.
Yeah. I just think you get more and more to these streaming platforms trying to get into live. And Netflix, like I said, they came in 3 years too late, but they are consistently raising their prices. And if they start adding advertisers and are still raising their prices, like how does anybody, because they're not going to be able to afford any of the majors. Like, you're not going to get NBA, you're not going to get MLB, you're not going to get NFL, that's for sure. So you're missing the mark at least, and obviously F1 is more global, and that might be where Netflix is trying to figure out. It might just be trying to figure out that it's more global than anything. So who knows? 615-844-5600 if you want to jump in. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Rams' newest signing. They are just blowing money away. I mean, it is crazy. And then we're also going to listen to an explanation trying to explain why the salary cap is real in the NFL. I doubt it's going to change my mind. If you want to jump in, 615-844-5600 here on the afternoon stretch.
Award-winning Davidson Reserve Whiskey is the truest expression of what originally inspired Pennington Distilling Company, based in Nashville, to open a distillery in 2011. It's a reflection of Tennessee heritage that connects Tennessee to a long and storied history of distilling alcohol. Each expression is mashed, distilled, aged, and bottled right on site. Davidson Reserve takes pride in our craft, and we are honored to share it with you. Pick up a bottle of one of our award-winning Davidson Reserve whiskeys from your local retailer today. Award-winning Davidson Reserve Tennessee Whiskey is one of the world's first chances to experience and taste a small batch craft Tennessee whiskey. Taste this locally distilled, aged, and bottled spirit today. Award-winning Davidson Reserve Tennessee Whiskey.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. Whether you want to learn Spanish for future travel plans, French to connect with extended family, or maybe German to land a new job, Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you'll actually use. All you need is 15 minutes a day, and you'll be on your way to confidently speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel is designed by real language experts using a modern, conversation-based technique that makes learning fun, engaging, and best of all, memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then sentences gradually get more complex. Soon you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. And with 14 languages to choose from and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll be sure to learn what matters most to you. Babbel, language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You have a 90% chance of surviving a lightning strike. You have a 98% chance of surviving a shark attack. You have a 99% chance of surviving a snake bite. But you only have a 50% chance of surviving a crash if you aren't wearing a seatbelt. Your truck may be tough, but a seatbelt makes it tougher. Buckle up in your truck. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast throughout this afternoon. Mostly sunny, temps low 80s, mostly clear overnight tonight, lows near 60. Saturday, a sunny day, highs in the mid 80s, wind gusts to 20 miles per hour, and mostly clear Saturday night, lows near 60. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network on Nashville Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's Joe Gardner.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
Welcome back, the afternoon stretch. Bruno, Reagan, Ray Dosky, Zach Williams here on Nashville Sports Radio. If you want to get involved, 615-844-5600. Final segment of the day. Cooper Kupp just got paid. Another big payday for another wide receiver. The Rams have spent $250 million or something like that between two players.
The Rams' big names are all here to stay. Matt Stafford, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp. Am I missing somebody? Is Von Miller re-signed?
OBJ has not. Von Miller went to the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was in your...
There's a fourth person. There's a fourth person. I can't remember.
Who are you thinking of? OBJ didn't come back. Well, I mean, it's still open, but Robert Woods
He did
gone.
crash Sean McVay's wedding, and Sean McVay said, all right, that's fair. You just have to come back.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. Cooper Kupp, first off, $110 million.
Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner. There we go.
Oh, yeah. $110 million, I think, is what he's or his extension was $80 million. 3 years, $80 million. That equals out to what? 26, 25, somewhere in there, a year, something like that.
Yep.
I feel like he got underpaid. Personally.
I mean, that's top of the receiver market money, isn't it?
Tyreek Hill, is that $30 million a year?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that Devontae Adams is right in that between those.
But Cooper Kupp's been in the league, and everyone knew he was a good player, right? But this year was kind of an anomaly. in terms of his production.
It's just gone up and up every single year.
Do you think if he gets another? Do you think he just does another? I mean, MVP caliber year, he gets paid more?
It's tough. I
Then
feel like this is just a one contract extra that he's going to get that range. I don't see how he can make more. You know, you're talking
I'm
about
usually on the opinion that players should optimize, get most money. But when you sign a deal like this as a football player, you're probably just like, hey, I don't need an extra $2. You know what I'm saying? $2-3 million.
Yeah.
To get me to that. I'll take this range. Also, the Rams need it because how in the world are you going to build a team with what is going on?
Well, so this is the whole argument once again of salary cap doesn't exist. Tom Pelissero goes on. What is it? What, Ray? Real quick, what's the show again? I'm dropping out the name.
Good Morning Football.
Good Morning Football. And I want to make sure we give them credit. He goes on, and this is his explanation to the salary cap actually existing. Go ahead and play that, Ray.
The fundamentals of the cap, Kyle, are that every dollar you spend hits the cap eventually. What teams can do is use signing bonuses, which are prorated. They are counted over the lifetime of the contract, at least up to 5 years, to be able to push some of those dollars into future years' salary caps. So what the Rams' history has been is with their young stars, they are willing, unlike some other teams, to do deals early with 2 years remaining. The thing with doing that is you need to be right. Go back several years. The Rams did it with Jared Goff and Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley was a monster centerpiece in their offense, but he had a bad knee. Things deteriorated. He wasn't the same. They were still paying him when he played in 2020 with the Atlanta Falcons. With Jared Goff, they were stuck with this huge guaranteed money at a time that Sean McVay and company knew they wanted to move on at quarterback, and they had to, in essence, incentivize the Lions to take that big contract because salary cap-wise, they would not have been able to acquire Matthew Stafford with Jared Goff still on the books. So is the salary cap real? Yes, but with the way that revenue is growing, which in turn means that the salary cap, barring COVID or another that type of situation, continues to grow, teams have become more willing to push those cap hits into the future, spend cash over cap now.
Okay, so in a layman's terms, the Rams are the America of the NFL. They are the global superpower. They have the biggest names. They have seemingly infinite money out of nowhere, but they are $1 trillion in debt. Is that correct?
Yeah, true. And also they have the least watched. I think they're the bottom 4 of market watching to their actual games. They have the largest market they're in.
St. Louis deserved that Super Bowl. God.
St. Louis, Detroit, and then the Rams all were a part of that Super Bowl. They were all part of it. So this is now Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson, Brandon Cooks, MVS, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, and Mike Williams all getting deals this season. That's a ton of wide receivers getting deals now. Left up to get deals, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, and Deontay Johnson.
DK Metcalf not reporting,
saying he's still injured and he's still working his injury out, which is a big smoke screen. It's I'm not showing up until you pay me. That's all that is.
Deebo Samuel kind of losing his own leverage day by day.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
I think when we went back to this whole conversation, it was just Ray and I because you were gone. I talked about Deebo like this is the one who's going to set the market. I thought he's going to set the market for sure, and the closer we inch every day to training camp, and
I personally think the Niners should have just let him go to the Jets.
Made the trade.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of people. When Deebo reported to camp, a lot of Titans fans were like, Titans maybe should have just called AJ's bluff. But the problem is that affects the mentality of a player. How's that working relationship going to work now? It's still in the player's favor to play absolutely bonkers so that eventually they can leverage for that money.
Well, that's the argument is that
Deebo's going to go out there and play his best still.
Yeah, he can't not. If he goes out there and sucks, well, he's just hurting his market then. But if he goes out there, tries his very best, and gets injured, he's hurting his market.
He hurt his market by reporting. He's not going to get that crazy deal unless the Niners come in good faith, which expecting an NFL team to come in good faith. The way the Ravens and Lamar seem to always work out, they're like, we'll get it done. Mutual parties, we like each other, we'll get it done. That's an anomaly.
Aaron Donald and
the Rams
talked about that too.
Yep.
They were Cooper Kupp was like, look, this is going to happen when it's going to happen. Aaron Donald said this is going to happen when it's going to happen. I'm going to be happy. They're going to make sure I'm happy, and that's how an organization should be, Randy.
It's how it should be because there's a human element to football.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams would get that wrong. I think the Niners are going to get that wrong. I think it's going to be a giant step back for the organization.
Out of the four that I just mentioned,
because it's such an important player.
Out of the four I just mentioned, who do you think gets it first? I want to throw Ray into that too.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't want to give dead air because I'm going to have to give an answer that I might regret, but probably DK, honestly.
You think DK gets it first?
Yeah, because he's kind of a proven over the years commodity. I don't think he's going to get absolutely bonkers money, and I think he knows that too. I think he just wants more. I think they're going to get it done.
I think he wants what A.J. Brown got.
I think that's fair too.
Yeah.
Is that fair? I don't think he's as good as A.J. Brown though.
I don't know. We've never seen him without Russell
too early
Wilson.
to say.
Yeah, I think it's too early to say too. They're obviously.
I think without Russell Wilson, it's going to be whoever that quarterback is for Seattle is going to be like, I'm throwing it to DK.
Well, and that's where I think
it might.
They're getting rid of everybody over there. It's like maybe they won't give him the money that he thinks he wants because they're just like, we're rebuilding, man. We're not going to.
You could be included in that.
If you sign cheap. If you sign cheap for us, what do you think, Ray?
If DK Metcalf resigns or gets
I'm saying he could be included in that. Like, we don't need you. We're rebuilding. We could just replace you too. That's what I think I was trying to say.
Yeah. Well, to the four that I mentioned, who do you think gets signed first? Gets their deal done. Because they're all set to play this next season.
Yeah, they are. And if you look at Deebo Samuel, you think that by him showing up to what was it, OTA's minicamp, or voluntary that is, I mean, that's a good faith, right? In terms of like he wants to work.
I don't think he's getting a deal. I think they're just going to be like, play on your contract.
I think that I don't think DK lasts in Seattle. I think he gets traded.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he lasts at all. Even though that we heard the whole coach say and the ownership say, "Oh, we're going to keep him. He's part of our program." And DK is basically shut down.
Hey, you know who else said that? Titans.
Exactly. Exactly. And so you heard rumors about how he's basically said that I don't know. I'm the first to hear this. I don't think anything. Who are the other two players?
So you got Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, and Deontay Johnson.
I see McLaurin.
McLaurin?
Yeah. I think McLaurin. I think he's just what he's. I think he's needed in Washington. I think he's done everything by the book. I mean, he's probably the only beloved Washington football player on that team right now, outside of Chase Young.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they're not in a situation of rebuild. 49ers are trying to win now. Seattle Seahawks they're rebuild. That's full rebuild right now. Washington's trying to win now while they have a bad
They're
NFC
trying to figure
East.
things out.
You bring in Carson Wentz, you make that kind of trade. That shows that, like, look, we're going to take a risk on this season, and that's what they're going to do, I think. And then you got Deontay Johnson with the Steelers, who a lot of people are still. I mean, it's every day I feel like Mitchell Trubisky gets a little bit more juice under his name. It just feels like when I start hearing people start talking about it, how at first it was, oh, Mitchell Trubisky, he's not even going to be a starter. Well, now it seems like he's firmly the starter of that team, which he should be.
Might be the first future bet I placed when I heard they were last in that division.
Yeah. So, when we talked about that yesterday. I think you're right, Ray. I'm going to go with you on that one. I think Terry McLaurin. I wouldn't be surprised if Deontay Johnson gets that as well, though. Because that's another one where Deontay is pretty used up there. Now, we don't know what's going to happen because what was the reports today from Steelers, or not maybe today, this week, though. Najee Harris is going to get a reduction in work this upcoming season. He's going to be only playing in certain downs, and that was from the horse's mouth there. That was Najee saying it. So, who knows? We don't know because Big Ben played for what? 18 years? 16 years?
Right.
We don't know. We don't even know what the Steelers are going to look like without him.
And we do know that they have managed to win 18 or so years in a row, winning record. Every single one.
Yeah. Well, one of the prize organizations in the NFL. But what is Deontay Johnson's value? Like, what is it?
Well, that's why I think his deal might get done first. It's just because
Deontay Johnson over Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. Well, I could see Deontay Johnson get it done first because he could get like a $18 million deal.
Yeah, I think that the reason why I went with Terry McLaurin is because the fact that they're all guard. Brandon Sheriff down to down to Jacksonville. They didn't re-sign him. They got most people would think that. With Carson Wentz overpaid for him, they were very much in the running against themselves in terms of that trade package with the Colts, and they weren't really active in free agency. They went through the draft and stuff like that because they needed to free up money for especially next year because you have a couple players. DeAndre Payne is there's questions there. They're uncertain about they're going to sign him for a new contract. So it looks like Terry McLaurin is going to be the next signee if you will for Washington. That's why I went with him. But Deontay Johnson, I mean he'd be up there too. I just want to know what you guys thought about in terms of what his value looks like right now.
I don't think his value is that high.
He's not like a Terry McLaurin value, right?
To all these other names, no.
No, right? It doesn't measure up, right?
Because Chase Claypool is still there. And Chase Claypool, I think, is the number one target.
Right.
And no matter what. And then they have Vandermoof. What's his name? The tight end who came up. He was the rookie last year. That was a pretty good. He showed up pretty well for Big Ben. But once again, it's like, who is Big Ben? Now that Big Ben's gone, who's going to be the guy? We don't know. Deontay Johnson was in those last couple of years. That was who he would just pepper constantly, was Deontay Johnson. But he had a lot of injuries. There's a lot more question marks there that are going to keep Deontay Johnson's money lower than $20 million a year. I
don't even like the idea of Najee Harris taking a step back in terms of like volume stuff, because that's not what the Steelers are. They're a running football team.
Mm-hmm. Well, you think about it last year though. Every time Big Ben, he has no mobility.
I think
Trubisky's going to be mobile. If Pickett gets in, he's more mobile. Anybody's more mobile than Big Ben.
I think 2 is better than 1. I think a good back can lead to another back getting. I mean, look at what the Titans did.
Yeah. Maybe.
And Najee Harris doesn't need to take 30 snaps. He wants a long career.
Yeah. Well, it's good for Najee Harris.
I think it's good. I think it's a good move.
Yeah. All right, we're done today. Everybody, thank you so much for calling in, commenting in, watching in, however you did. Phil Mickelson, we love you. Best friend of the show. Best friend of the show. I know you're still out there watching somewhere. Everybody, have a great night. Braves baseball coming up here in just a moment. Remember, if nobody's told you, I love you and you matter. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Friday, getting to the weekend here on the afternoon stretch.